Alright, so we're going to go ahead and look at this program called the for loop. Starting off from the top, we're going to explain what the program does. That is, it displays the numbers and their squares. And then here we're going to take the input for the starting number and the input for how high we want the last number to be. And then here we're just going to go ahead and print out strings for formatting. And then down here is the interesting part. This is going to be the for loop right here. And the syntax in Python is quite funky when you first take a look into it, but this is what it does. So right here, notice looking at my notes, the stop needs to be +1 as that's the sequence's ending limit. So you got to add in a 1 to it. And number is a variable that's going to be assigned to the first value in the list. So that's going to be interesting. And then we're just going to do some little bit of math here. These two asterisks right here is what produces a square of a number. So we're going to say 5. And we're going to go ahead and say 10. So right here, we started off with 5. It'll iterate through the for loop until it gets to our final number 10. This number would have become 11, but with the way it works, that's what it needs to be, as 11's the sequence's ending limit rather than the final number it wants to end, if that makes sense. And then number, like I mentioned before, is going to be the first number starting on the list, so it will just display 1, 5, 6, 7. It'll increment by 1 apparently by default. But what you can do is, right here, you can just type in 2, and that will change things up a bit. If you were to do it like so, it'll start incrementing by 2. 5, 7, 9. And if you look at it like this, you'll see the range, stop, and then step. So that's what all those variables within those brackets mean. And that's one basic example of how you can use a for loop. It's something to get used to. The syntax is quite different from anything else, but that's how it works. It's rather compact. Doesn't really, it's just like Python, very implicit. Doesn't really spell things out. You just kind of have to just look into it and get used to it, I guess you can say.